A little after 11, officers responded to the 2400 block of Truax to investigate a report of shots fired. When they arrived, as they were arriving, they heard another shot coming from a residence. They entered the residence. They found a child had been struck.
This just into the newsroom. A young boy and a man were shot in the 2400 block of Truax Lane. This according to a tweet from the Columbia Police Department. Both victims suffered serious injuries. We'll of course bring you the latest developments on air and online. The latest on Hurricane Irma as it hits Barbuda, plus a woman who was placed under arrest slipped off her handcuffs and led police on a 100 miles per hour chase. And a python thought he found the perfect place to chill. All that, and it's National Read a Book Day. From the ABC Columbia studio, I'm Kimberlei Davis. Thank you for joining me. Here are your trending headlines for Wednesday, September 6th. Hurricane Irma made its first landfall in Barbuda as a Category 5 storm. The system was packing maximum sustained winds of 185 miles per hour this morning. The U.S. National Hurricane Center said Irma was aiming for several Caribbean islands. Puerto Rico, Antigua, St. Kitts, and the U.S. Virgin Islands could see potentially devastating impacts. Forecasts show the storm could move towards Florida over the weekend. No Atlantic hurricane in the past decade has ever reached the strength of this storm. Florida Governor Rick Scott is urging residents to take heed of the warnings and be prepared.
This is a massive storm. This is much bigger than Andrew. We're going to have rain. This is already 185-mile-an-hour winds, much bigger than Andrew. We're going to have storm surge that we didn't have in Andrew. So everybody in Florida has got to get prepared. We're being very aggressive at the state level. And I hope every citizen in our state will be aggressive. There's just as much a chance it's going to hit the West Coast as the East Coast right now if you look at all the projected paths. So everybody's got to take the time to be prepared.
Police in Texas pursued one of their own vehicles over the Labor Day weekend after a suspected shoplifter escaped from her handcuffs, climbed into the front seat of the patrol car, and fled. You've got to see this.
The video begins with Tasha Sponsler's arrest. Police say she ran away from them when a store called about her being a possible shoplifter. Watch how much care they take to make sure she is properly handcuffed. Fast forward to Sponsler, alone, still handcuffed in the back of the police car. She is quickly out of her seatbelt, and according to the time code, about 4 minutes later, she's out of those cuffs too. You can see one officer just outside. She checks the back, then climbs into the front of the unit. That takes about 15 seconds. Then, as officers are checking evidence, Sponsler takes off, speeding out of the parking lot of the store. Minutes later, she is on the open road, bolting away from the scene. As the video plays, notice how many law enforcement vehicles she passes, going in the opposite direction, most of them with lights flashing. One officer tries a spike strip. She quickly avoids it. She travels all the way to Zavala, about 20 miles away, reaching triple digits on the speedometer. Finally, she is violently forced off the road by a DPS trooper. You can hear her groan once the car finally stops spinning. We switch to police body cam now as the officers surround their own unit, guns drawn, and break the window to rip Sponsler out of that car. The video ends with a Lufkin PD officer installing a device to prevent any suspect from ever doing this again. The hashtag, fool me once.
Imagine coming home after a long, tiring day at work, only to find that you have an uninvited guest already inside your house. Well, that's what happened to an Australian family when they found a python hiding in the tiny dark space above their refrigerator. The video was shared on Facebook, and since the post, the video has collected over 200,000 views. There's nothing quite like curling up with a good book. Today is National Read a Book Day, not to be confused with National Book Lovers Day. That was last month. To celebrate, take some time off. Shut off those phones, stop scrolling and trolling on the internet, and turn some pages for a while. Join us for news, weather, sports, and more on air, online, and we're always at the tip of your fingers on the ABC Columbia mobile app. I'm Kimberlei Davis. Thank you for sharing a small portion of your day with me. It's been both a privilege and a pleasure. Have a great Wednesday, and thanks for watching.